G'day folks, Rob Woodman here with ACF Environmental. I was out in Pittsburgh today and it was pouring with rain, so I decided to hit the streets and see how some of these green infrastructure systems are doing. This one here behind me, you'll see the water kind of heading to it. This was actually as a typical rain garden originally, but due to conflicts that were found during construction with other utilities, the footprint had to get smaller, and the client here, which was PWSA, shifted from a typical rain garden to a FocalPoint, one of the key features of that system being a much smaller footprint. And honestly, a fantastic time to be out and see this system in action. We can see all the water from this curb line heading towards that system over there, and we'll talk about that system when we get a little bit closer. And this one's kind of nifty. It's in a low spot, so we actually have a rain guardian turret at each end. Again, you can see a great example of that, separating out some of the larger stuff, the leaves in that sandwich bag of some sort, on top with a filter screen on the inside, and we'll see in a minute the filtered water popping out the backside into this system. There is also a drain in the middle as an overflow, which has an insert in it. The FocalPoint, which is our high flow biofilter system, all through the middle under the river stone here. Obviously some appropriate plantings, just some perennial grasses and shrubs. And then there's actually a domed overflow in this one because it's in a low spot, and that also has a filter insert that we'll take a look at in a second. And under all of this system, you can kind of see the pavement patch here. There's again expanded R-tank double, so a great way to put all those systems together for one space efficient, high performance, cost effective retrofit. I also mentioned earlier the domed overflow, so when larger events come through here, it can go over this overflow as opposed to spilling into the street. And another thing in here is there's a Fabco filter bag insert in here. Great way to collect any floatables, mulch or debris, those types of things. It's also a great way to tell how many storms have really peaked the system or got it up at higher levels. And if we look in here, there's actually very little sediment accumulated in that system at this point, which tells me two things. One, either we haven't had large storm events, or the FocalPoint's doing such a good job keeping up with the rainfall coming in that it really hasn't had the need to overflow very often.